Spring has sprung, everyone. Happy spring. On behalf of the New River Battalion, I'm Major Daniel Harrison, and you're watching Torch Ones, the show where we have answers to your burning questions and even hotter wins. Today, we're joined by two of our most interesting cadet personalities and soon-to-be lieutenants, Cadets Frank Bianco and Leo Hogroian. Frank grew up in Staten Island, New York, as well as Apex, North Carolina, which I have to imagine are about as different as two places could be on the East Coast. Frank likes jumping out of perfectly good airplanes, as well as running. Weirdo. He spent the last 4 months as our Battalion S2, or intelligence officer, which is not an easy job to do, especially when you're pitching the enemy disposition in an op order or talking about world events in a training meeting. So we know he can perform under pressure. Leo is from Fairfax, Virginia, but also splits his time with upstate New York. He's also a masochist, a runner, and he likes to get his hands dirty working on his car, as well as finding the bottom of the internet on YouTube and on podcasts. Frank is headed to Armor Bullock this summer. Leo is headed to Air Defense, and it's going to be a great summer for the Army because they're going to get 2 new second lieutenants out of this program. So, gentlemen, Patriot Scholars, welcome to the show. What do you want to talk about today?
Thank you. Well, Frank had a question to start off with.
Oh, leading off. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
So, first question, sir. This is going to be your end of your first year in ROTC.
Yeah.
We just want to ask, what's been your favorite part so far about being in Blacksburg?
So, you might know this. Not everyone necessarily knows this, but I'm from an hour away. I'm from Wythe County. I've been watching Virginia Tech football since I was a kid. So, one, it's getting to be part of this university and this community directly. It's something I've always, been interested in, even though I didn't go to school here. My dad did. I cheer for the Hokies every football season, and it's cool being on this campus to be exposed to the life that you guys live, as well as just the uniqueness of this place. The added bonus for me personally, too, is because Radford is also part of our program. My wife went to Radford, so I get to be at both my father's alma mater and my wife's, and be part of helping cadets prepare for service in the Army. So that's really cool. This is a fun town, a lot of fun things to do, and I just enjoy spending time with you guys.
Aww. So if Virginia Tech played West Point, who would you be rooting for?
Yeah. I'd probably have to cheer for Army, but I might be wearing maroon.
Yeah.
I've only been an Army fan since I thought about becoming a cadet. I've always been.
That's fair.
Okay. All right. Well, before we get started, the sauces are, from left to right, least dangerous to most dangerous. Any question on the sauces of the wings before we get started?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. All right.
I imagine it gets worse.
It's a big piece of chicken. It'll get worse before it gets better. What's your experience level with spicy food?
So I have the General So's at 1, which is one of the dining halls. That's about it. That's like the spiciest thing I eat, really. So,
well, we're definitely gonna expand your horizons today. What about you, Frank?
I put Texas Pete on my scrambled eggs sometimes, and that's pretty much it.
yeah. So the last one's gonna get a reaction out of me for sure.
Is that because you're from North Carolina? Is like Texas Pete your go-to because Texas Pete is from North Carolina?
I'm a Frank's hot sauce kind of guy, but that's all they have here.
Oh, Frank's for Frank. Well played. Okay, well, I got some questions for you. Frank, you took your mom skydiving. What's it like jumping out of an airplane with the person that brought you into the world?
Well, so it was actually her idea. She just her birthday was in November, and I think it was mid-September. I just went home for the weekend to see family, and she told me hey, I really want to go. Would you go with me? And I'm not gonna say no. It's my mom. So we ended up going. I think it was 2 or 3 days right after her birthday. And originally we were supposed to go together, a tandem jump. I'd be with someone and she'd be with someone. But they only had one tandem guy. So she went first, and I got to watch her and record her coming down. It was a lot of fun. And then right before I was gonna go, we were getting on the plane. They stopped us and oh sorry, there's plane maintenance that we need to do. And I was take your time, there's no rush. And then I eventually got to go, and it was a lot of fun.
The Air Force likes to do that too. Oh, the left door doesn't work today. Everybody's going out of the right door. That's what. Did she tell you what she thought about?
Oh yeah, she loved it. She wants to go again and bring my dad and my brother. So
that's cool. Yeah. Leo, what was the audition process like for Diary of a Wimpy Kid? And would you ever do that again?
So when it asked for interesting fact, I was trying to think of something that no one watching would really know about me either. So I figured that was kind of interesting. The audition process, it was like, so my mom, she's in the theater community a little bit because she studied that in college. And she did like graduate school on it as well. So I don't know how she found out about it, but somehow she found out there was like an audition process going on for the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie that was coming out. And this was like when the books were really big, and I was a huge fan when I was a kid. And I don't know, I was kind of like a Greg Heffley, sort of, like at that age, you know, like kind of just like scrawny kid. You know, so I was like, oh wow, that could be me. So my mom did like a video thing, sent it in to like the directors and stuff. We heard back from them, I'm pretty sure. And then we sent another video thing, and then that was like for like smaller cuts kind of thing, but I did not make the cut. But
I guess like if I just weren't wimpy enough.
Yeah, I guess not. Which, you know, I guess is a good thing, but I'd be a like child star if I made it, you know. But,
well, I'm glad you're here. I think the Army's glad you're here.
Yeah, no, I'm too.
Could have been a movie star, I suppose.
I could have been both though. Could have done ROTC and be a movie star at the same time.
That would be unique. I don't know if there's a precedent there. Not for a while.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk about anything before we go to the next one?
I said we do the next one.
You ready?
Yeah, ready.
Get after it.
What is the spiciest thing that you've like ever had?
By Scoville's, probably last apple. I remember the first time I had the classic reaction to hot sauce was I got scorpion rum from Buffalo Wild Wings. Like halfway through 6 wings, I was like, I don't really want to finish this, but I'm going to because I have pride. And I did. And then I finally understood why some people don't like. I don't like spicy food because it's honestly doesn't know about it. What about you guys?
Spiciest thing I've ever had. It was probably Buffalo Wild Wings, the like Red Hot Wing Challenge or whatever it is. It's like you only get one, and I had that. Like I was like basically tearing up, like sweating. It was bad, really bad. But,
yeah, we used to go in high school like it would be like almost a semester. We'd go to like B-dubs and do like the Blaze Wing Challenge, and they ran like I think it's like 8 or 10 or something like that. And only like one of us had like the 10 would ever like finish all. Like, everyone's just be like crying, and you got like snot coming out and all that.
I've never done like the big crazy wing contest thing, but that's also because I enjoy this, so I don't necessarily want to ruin the experience. So I don't want to gorge myself on crazy wings. But I hear there's a couple challenges in the local area, so that might be on the docket for this fall. We'll have to see. Frank, do you subscribe to the philosophy, why carry your weapon when it can carry you? Is that why you want to be an armor officer?
I'd say it's part of it. I mean, armor, and I was always kind of flipped between armor and field artillery for the first couple years here, and then going to camp and like talking to like Cadre there and all that, just kind of stuck with me armor because it has like the heavy aspect where like you know your vehicles can carry everything for you. Then there's also the lighter side that like you know you gotta put a little more work in carrying and stuff.
you wanted to do 88 too because you wanted to stick with it.
It was up there maybe, but
Yeah.
It's very clear that you guys do a lot of things together like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm amazed you pick separate branches.
Yeah.
Well, that's for you then, Leo. Why do you want to be a duck hunter? What about air defense appeals to you, right? It's a part of the Army that we haven't necessarily paid a lot of attention to for a little bit, but it's definitely back at the forefront of a lot of people's minds.
I think, that's one of the main reasons that I was interested in it is because it's growing in relevance right now. You know, especially with our enemies now becoming more equipped in airspace, you know, because before were fighting counterterrorism and they had little to none in terms of air capabilities, and now we're moving into a new kind of warfare that, you know, the Army's preparing for that, you know, is pretty focused on air stuff. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be like a big, pretty relevant thing for the Army.
Oh, absolutely. History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes, and threats in the air defense realm definitely really important to think about. I think you should go to a strike unit and go to M short.
That's what I'm interested in, actually. So that'd be cool. And then we could end up in the same unit. That'd be perfect. Yeah.
Well, I think this morning you heard from an armor officer in 361, and in 2nd Brigade 4th ID, when I left last summer, they also received the M short ad. So maybe you guys put Fort Carson top of your list. You can be reunited once again.
Well, I was going to say, right now I think I have, it was like Germany was towards the top of my list, and then it was mostly like Europe stuff. But we'll say maybe Fort Carson.
We definitely talked to Sergeant Courtney Sergeant Smith, right? You understand that environment really well. They can give you some good advice.
Right.
Where are you thinking about going for?
So Fort Bragg's like it's up there on my list just because it's close
Fort
to
Liberty,
home.
about to be.
Right, Fort
Absolutely.
Liberty. Close to home, close to family and all that, and then plus 80 seconds there, very like historic unit. That'd be awesome to be able to be there. And then Fort Carson is on the list too. I heard the Colorado area is really pretty out there. There's a lot of stuff to do. And then the other one was there was Fort Bliss. I heard that's because that's a big armor.
First Armored Division, America's Tank Division. Yeah. Okay. That's it. I mean, there's good places to go as an armor officer. Bliss was on my list at ILE because of kind of the mission set they had, and I've also heard there are some things to really appreciate about that area of West Texas. Very interesting place to be. Any questions before we jump up here?
Nope. Jump off
We
there.
have a question for after.
Okay.
Yeah. Not really. I have a feeling this one's gonna be like just astronomically worse. Actually, never mind. A little fun. Delayed reaction.
Happens to the best of us. Okay. We're bringing back go or no go. I'm gonna show you guys, or excuse me, I'm gonna throw a couple phrases at you, Frank. And as two New Yorkers dabbling in Appalachian identity, right? You gotta pick a side. So you might hurt feelings either home or here. You gotta pick one or the other. Krispy Kreme or Dunkin'?
I'd take Dunkin'. Because, I mean, mainly like coffee, but also I don't think I've ever been to Krispy Kreme in my whole life. So.
What says the man that's occasionally from Apex, North Carolina?
I gotta go Krispy Kreme because there's not a lot of Dunkins where I'm from, so Krispy Kreme is a big one.
Are there any coffee chains up there that you think, or donut chains that are better than Krispy Kreme?
Tim Hortons is good. That's more like an upstate New York. I mean,
That's Canadian.
Yeah, but it's pretty prevalent in upstate New York. I'd say they're pretty good.
I've had Tim Hortons, but only in Afghanistan.
What?
They used to have a Tim Hortons in
Surprising.
Canada. And delicious food and great coffee, so I do appreciate Tim Hortons. All right. Local, Tots or Champs?
Depends on like at what point in the night it is, I'd say. Also, I don't know. Champs, there's definitely a lot of core people there, so if you're just trying to hang out with people, I'd say Champs.
It's like Army Lab. So,
I didn't know that.
okay. You gotta go downstairs, James.
Yeah.
That's the spot.
All right, what are you going for? A fresh slice on the streets of New York City or Benny's?
Definitely New York City. I mean, Benny's is alright, but like not close to like really good New York pizza. I mean, Frank would know more.
I gotta go. Where I used to live, Danino's Pizza in Staten Island, best pizza I've ever had. Like, I'll go back there any day. It's the same slice. Like the wings are really good.
Danino's?
Danino's Pizza.
All right, if I ever visit Staten Island, it's on the list to tell you. Wegmans or Kroger?
Oh, Wegmans, for sure.
Why?
Well, better, like fresh food, like you can get like pizza sandwiches there and all that, way better than Kroger. The selection's like way bigger. Wegmans, for sure. They also like better, like they just have such a broad selection of like supplements and international food, everything. So.
I've never been, so I gotta go Kroger.
Never been to Wegmans?
Nah, that's a Nova thing.
No, it's from upstate New York.
I've never been one of theirs.
I knew the shaming would happen.
He doesn't venture out of the downstate much, I guess.
We'll get to that in a minute. Do you say on Long Island, or in Long Island?
Honestly, I don't know, because I'm not like, I have some family in the Bronx, but I'm not really well versed in the whole like New York City kind of thing. Yeah.
Say on. It's been a while.
I guess it's controversial. Some people really care.
No, you gotta slur the word like island now. It's gotta be just like one like
Let's
island. Like you can't pronounce like some.
There's no T in the end.
Yeah, there's no T.
So how do you say Staten Island?
It's just Staten Island. Like no T. It's really weird, but that's just like I don't know. It's just how everyone says it.
All right, so then the big question: where does upstate New York begin?
I'd say like the Hudson doesn't really count, like that Hudson area going up the Catskills. I'd say that's still like southern New York because you get a ton of New York City influence. Like if you're driving down the road, like some interstate there, you'll see like a ton of like kind of New York looking restaurants, like New York City looking restaurants and all that. But Yeah, so I'd say I draw the line near like, I don't know, what is it, like Washingtonville or something like that, like a little ways up the Hudson, maybe.
What do you say?
We never went upstate much. We really went like we'd go south, like we'd go like Florida.
So,
like,
so you leave the
South
city and basically you're in upstate New York, is that?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Population-wise, I suppose you're on point there. Okay. Anything you want to know before we this is gonna escalate. It's gonna be fun.
Okay, I have one question. So one thing that I've always like found interesting about the Army in general and like deployment and stuff is learning about different cultures and all that. What would you say is like one of the most interesting things you learned about another culture by being deployed, or like what did you like about other cultures, stuff like that, from your experience?
So I deployed to Afghanistan a couple times, East Africa, and then I trained with a lot of our partners and allies from all over the place. And I think what I probably enjoyed the most is learning about new foods that I wasn't familiar with, and then some of the like the rituals or things you do with it. So like as an example, there's a specific type of what we would call a cookie, right? What they'll call a biscuit that the Aussies eat, that they'll put in their coffee or their tea and let it get warm, and then you suck it through, and like it pulls all this chocolatey goodness through. That was kind of a cool thing that I've never done before. Learning to eat the traditional way with like the naan-style bread, the unleavened bread and rice and meat in Afghanistan, and getting kind of this flavor explosion you're scooping up together with this piece of bread. That was kind of fun. And what I found was that breaking bread with people, right, eating together, builds relationships in ways that you wouldn't get otherwise. So it's kind of cool because there are so many different ways you can eat the same thing, and what it means to you may differ based on how you're eating it. So, unsurprisingly, I liked a lot of the food because it was the doorway to the people.
Was any of it spicy, would you say? Like comparing to this at all, or no?
No.
Okay.
Not in the parts of Afghanistan I was in, not generally.
Okay.
So a less serious question.
Yeah.
So this goes for like all the newer battalion cadre. There was like a Hunger Games survival situation. Who do you have coming out on top?
Well, I don't know which would win, but I think we'd all agree it's either Captain Jessica Duvall or Captain Tyler Speed. I'm pretty sure one of them is coming out on top. Don't underestimate me. I'm a dangerous person, but they're pretty serious. Yeah, they probably take the cake. Well, who do you think?
I got Sergeant Major up there.
Yeah, all right. Big chopper, right? Yeah, you would definitely be there.
I put Sergeant Smith probably, or Sergeant Courtney. It's like 88, you know. I'd say that because I don't know. I gotta support them, you know. You never know.
Yeah. No, I mean they're both very intelligent, cunning individuals. And they got a lot of. I mean, those two in particular have a lot of hidden skill sets that they impress me. Stuff they do all the time.
I'm gonna get participation points for that.
Yeah, participation. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
All right, here we go. This is
Those are not theirs.
the Viper.
Yeah, Frank's piece of chicken is significantly bigger. He's the boss though. So.
All right, we're gonna continue the Explain That Graham tradition. We'll show you a couple pictures. You gotta tell us the story behind it. We'll start with you, Leo. What's going on?
Graduating high school. I mean, that was actually, I don't know if I was graduating high school. Can I say that again?
Yeah,
Alright, well,
do you know what they do? Like,
I don't know where that picture came from.
brother?
Probably Diego's doing his research, but it's winter, so actually I don't know. I think that was probably the day that I got into tech, and that's why I'm wearing a tech sweatshirt. Like standing in front of the Fairfax High School rock thing that we had. Can I drink this water? Oh, thank you. Okay.
Do what must be done.
Actually, I just want to drink milk.
Yeah, let me get one of those too.
So, my sister.
Close your eyes. Keep your hand away from your eyes.
Okay. So my sister actually went to tech. She kind of got me interested in going. So when I got in, it was kind of a cool moment. You know, I'd be going to school with my sister was going to. And also I was really interested in the Corps Cadets. And especially then, you know, I was really excited for that. So to see that I got in, that was a big day for me. But
Right on. What's happening here?
Okay, so that was right after the HAC 12-mile rep we had. What is it? So Noah came in the picture. He has a Instagram fitness page. He's always posting like pictures of us like in the gym and stuff.
It's IFBB Pro Dashi Man.
Go give him a follow. Yeah,
Give him a follow.
But yeah, he just had it. Gotta get a picture of all the boys after the run.
Yeah, he likes to. He gets posts from like Army PT or like the gym mostly and stuff. But he's probably trying to get sponsored by Gymshark, something like that.
Let's see if they're listening. They gotta check them out.
What is happening here?
So basically, what is that? Oh, okay. So that was on the National Mall, which Frank did not know was a thing for monuments. He thought the National Mall in DC was like a store. So we pulled up there, because this was for the Army 10 miler. So we're in DC, and I'm like, all right guys, let's go to the National Mall, because I know DC pretty well, because I lived in Northern Virginia for 19 years. So I brought them there. I think Jared Webb too, neither of them knew that the National Mall was, where the like monuments were. They thought it was a store. So they were asking me like, where the mall was. I'm like, it's right here, guys. But, so I don't know exactly where on the mall that was.
Like,
I don't know exactly where on the mall that was, but yeah, so that's the story behind that picture.
All right. And what's going on here? That looks pretty fun.
Oh, that's
in Portugal.
That's in Portugal.
Yeah. That's me, and then we got Al Pago, the S1, and then also Carmen Moro, who's in Air Force. That was in Portugal, in Lisbon. It's kind of funny. There was it wasn't even coordinated, but there were a bunch of different groups of cadets that just kind of ended up going to Lisbon, in Portugal, because it was cheaper than most vacation places or something like that. But it's a fun place. I recommend. Very good. Have you ever been to?
I have not. My dad's been to Portugal. I've only passed through continental Europe, been to England and Ireland, but I haven't had the chance to explore. There's a lot of history there.
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
very real country.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
So there's a story.
I like this story. I have another story after this.
All right. So it was we were in the same company freshman year, right? And freshman year during the new cadet week thing, you don't really talk to the other people in your TC very often. So
Training company.
Yeah, training company. Yeah. So I didn't know who Frank was. It was new cadet week, and then we're all coming up to like get online, which is where you basically like line up on the side of the hallway. Frank comes out of the door because he was on the floor below me, and he's wearing a girls PT uniform. So I look at him like, what is this guy doing? This guy looks so messed up, and he gets all the cadre come around him. He's getting yelled at by literally everyone's like, get up Bianco, all Bianco. So that's how I remembered after that.
That's not what happened. So
what
actually
happened?
There was a situation. The sophomores, the sophomore CTAs, they do all the laundry for everybody.
CTAs.
The cadre training assistant. So the juniors in charge of training the freshmen are the cadre, and then there's usually 2 or 3 sophomores per company that help out. They do the laundry. They'll go to Walmart and get Monsters or Red Bulls or whatever they need basically. And there was
for the cadre.
For the cadre, yeah. Not for the freshmen.
They do the freshmen's laundry though.
Yeah,
which is where.
But there was a mishap with the laundry, and to this day we don't know exactly what happened. But that was it's a good story.
That's how I met him. That's how I
So you got someone else's laundry.
And then he used to. So we were it was split. He was on the 5th floor. I was on the 4th floor, and so he'd come out of his room on the 5th floor, and all the juniors would start yelling at him and stuff. But they would think he's me. And then he would correct himself pretending to be me.
I don't think we look that similar. What do you think, sir?
So he's been trying to be me for 4 years now.
Yeah, okay.
So,
because that's a recurring thing here. Ryan Louie and Ezra Silverberg. Ryan had to clarify for everyone that he was not, in fact, Ezra. Though I still haven't seen them in the same room at the same time.
I kind of see the resemblance.
We don't know for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so I would correct myself as him. So any kind of infraction or mess up I made, it's Frank's fault.
They thought I was terrible. It's not my infraction plus his.
And they never noticed. To this day, I talked to them a while ago. They don't believe that I did that. There's no way we would have caught that. So I got away with it. Yeah.
That's creative. Any questions for me?
Sorry guys, have you ever ridden the RB 10 miler by any chance?
Well, funny story. Yes. It was unplanned. When I was a platoon leader in the 82nd, my buddy Gus and I, Gus Paul, we went out on a Thursday because it was Combat Fitness Day. We were wearing our body armor. I remember I had my magazines mounted on front. That's a little extra weight, so it kind of moved you forward a little bit. We went out and just happened into the 10 miler because it was going right by where our building was, and we were like, oh, just run on the road, and basically started at the beginning, right a little before it, and kept going, and then then it was like we were flowing downstream with everybody. We got to like the 4 mile point. I looked at Gus and I was like, we're doing the whole thing, right? He's like, ah. So we did. We hit the turnaround, came all the way back, and we did it in body armor. I don't think I would do that again if given the choice.
It's gonna be rough on
But we accomplished it. Yeah, I mean, we weren't that fast. We also weren't that slow. I was a little bit before we deployed, so we were in really good shape and young and foolish. I would recommend you don't do that. Save your knees the pain. Don't run the Army 10 mile body. I didn't run nearly as fast as you guys did.
Well, this guy, I'll admit, ran slightly faster than me.
But I won. Like,
He won, but I was ahead of him for the vast majority of the race. Yeah, no, I was, and there was like half a mile left. And then I started puking, and that's why he passed me.
It's all about the finish.
You lost.
Yeah.
What you're saying.
It's because I was carb loading before and I had kettle corn. In retrospect, it would have been good to have like just plain popcorn. That's a simple carb, but the kettle corn has got like spices on it, salt, and sugar.
It's from Wedge, right?
Yeah, it was from Wedge. It's probably not the best move, but to this day, I think if I hadn't eaten that kettle corn, I probably would have eaten it.
So pro tip then, don't eat a bag of Wegmans kettle corn.
It's the whole bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted. So.
But yeah, we did win the New River Battalion.
Yeah.
We had first in out of all like ROTC programs. Technically, so we're grouped in with the academies and stuff. So we did lose to the D1 West Point runners, technically. But
we beat the D1 Sandhurst runners from England.
I'd say we won. And we brought him a trophy, so it was a good weekend.
Congratulations. It's a good day. Good memories.
It was fun.
All right. Now, before we do this, I believe we have a special guest. All right. So, we do have a tradition around here. Add a little extra to the last wing. This is the last dab. It is not to be underestimated, but
Oh boy.
what I can tell you is it's very flavorful. So you put as much on that as you want. It's already on the wing. You're just adding a little extra.
Alright.
Clay, why are you joining us for the final wing?
I think it's partly because I've known these two hooligans, we'll say, for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
Sort of become, I would say, best friends with them.
4 years.
4 years. Yeah, since freshman year, I was one of their buds as well. And so I got invited to come on this episode, and here I am for the last dab.
So the staff invited the XO on, and we felt obligated.
Yes, sir.
Going put up here.
Sure.
You got
Now that's trust.
So very glad.
You gotta give him more than all of us because we've already had all the wins.
But
That's plenty.
Make sure to put your weapon on safe.
Right.
Best of luck, gentlemen. Cheers.
Good.
Cheers.
If somebody told you to come scoop, what is that supposed to mean?
Like, come pick you up. So I guess.
Okay. Shaolin.
So that's the Wu-Tang clan. My dad's a big fan. He's actually met Method Man before. It's pretty cool. And that's just what they refer to, like Staten Island as the Shaolin.
Okay, bud.
I'm doing good.
Mama Della.
It sounds familiar. I can.
Okay. Come out of your face. Like I think you're doing right now.
Yeah,
You good?
I couldn't give it exactly. Yeah.
How would you use it in a sentence?
I've never heard that before. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Okay. Leo, you ran an 18:07 3 mile in high school.
Oh yeah, I did. I guess. So yeah.
What are your tips to people that want to work on their endurance running? How should they approach, getting better?
Also, take us a bit too sorry.
I ran a 17:10 for reference. That's what I put it.
That's not a mile split though. But anyways, so back then that was when I was like in my cross country running shape. So I was running like 6 to 5 times a week. We were doing like 30 miles a week or more. So that's a lot of running. So it's kind of hard to get to that speed, like without doing like a ton of running. But for cardio, especially just geared towards like the 2 mile, then also getting good at like the 5 mile for people who want to do ranger school and all that. I would say consistency is the most important thing. People try to like pile on mileage and they'll do like a 6 mile run and then they get tired of it because that is a pretty good distance and they do it like once a week. So I'd say like shorter runs, but like push the pace and do it often, like 4 times a week, something like that. But like only like 2 miles is gonna suffice. Like 3 miles, something like that. Do it quick. Do your VO2 max up, and that helps a lot.
Yeah. So, like many things, right? Consistency helps, especially when you think about preparing your body.
Right.
Clay,
Yes, sir.
as the last dab burns its way through your esophagus, it's not that bad. What did these guys do this year that you're going to remember for the rest of your lives?
Oh,
Can we turn the cameras off first?
I think
No.
the biggest thing that we're gonna remember, I think we can probably all agree, is the meals that we have. So we have almost at like every breakfast and dinner together, us three, plus like our whole group, and I think that's probably gonna be the most memorable part.
It's like
Is eating
an hour meal, 1 to 2 hours every morning.
every morning every day.
Yeah.
I spend with these guys.
We already
I think that's
scheduled.
probably.
We all just had to have the same
we know where we're
just
going
know
every day.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be. That's probably.
They'll be missed.
That's probably the
That's
most
struggling
memorable
right
part.
now.
Okay.
Well, gentlemen, congratulations. Leo, Frank, Clay, you made it to the end. Well done. You conquered the wings of doom. This camera, this camera, this camera. Tell the people what you got going on in your life.
So I branched armor. I'm gonna be heading to Armor Bowling in January, allegedly. That's if they don't like change dates on me and stuff like that. Hoping to pick up a job this summer. Working with my brother because he's gonna be home for the summer too from college. We're trying to get a job somewhere together and just like spend some time together before we go out.
For me, about the same thing, getting ready to go to bowling. I'm excited for that and to start a career in the Army. What's going on for me right now? Don't buy a Nissan Rogue, especially from the early 2010s. They have a lot of issues, so keep that in mind, because transmissions are not too hot on those cars. That's what's going on for me right now, is car issues.
Car maintenance.
And the phone too.
Car maintenance.
The phone issue.
Yeah, and then also my phone's not working, so things. Yeah.
I recommend you get both of those solved before you get to bowling.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
Clay?
And for me, I'm just trying to finish out the semester, get all these events sorted as XO, and then move on to MP Bowl like the beginning of June. I got about 2 months until I'm there, and I'm looking forward to it. So.
Too different, boys like secret. Every time I see you, I wanna say.
Gotta go harder.